Scorpio, the shift has already begun beneath the surface. Before the world notices what is changing, before the proof fully rises into view, before anyone understands how much you've carried in silence, something deep within your life has already been rebuilt. As June begins, especially around June 1st and 2nd, the energy surrounding you feels less like a sudden beginning and more like the return of something that always belonged to you. The universe is no longer asking you to grip everything so tightly because a real and lasting financial breakthrough is already taking shape beneath your feet. This is not unstable luck, and it is not another lesson disguised as struggle. What is coming carries permanence, and the kind of blessing meant to stay often arrives when the soul finally stops preparing for battle. You did not find this message by accident, because Scorpio rarely moves without instinct guiding the way. Something inside you already senses that a hidden tide is turning in your favor, even while your mind is still trying to calculate how it could happen. You can feel it in the exhaustion that has settled deeper than the body. You have worn emotional armor for so long that peace itself almost feels unfamiliar. This moment exists between survival and restoration, between carrying everything alone and finally allowing yourself to receive. The hardest phase is ending, and now your task is not to force outcomes, but to remain open while life settles into the spaces you spent years protecting. You were tested in ways few people ever fully understood. Beneath your calm exterior lived storms you never spoke about, and still you carried weight that never truly belonged to you because you were the one everyone relied on. You gave stability while your own inner world was shifting beneath you, and you stayed loyal even in places where your value was overlooked. Through seasons of emotional drought, you kept believing that something meaningful would eventually grow from all of this. Scorpio, none of that devotion went unseen. Every quiet sacrifice, every moment you rebuilt yourself after disappointment, every time you chose integrity over desperation was witnessed. While others measured you by speed or surface success, something greater was strengthening your foundation in hidden places. You are not being asked to push harder now because this next chapter arrives through worthiness, not exhaustion. The energy surrounding early June is teaching you that softness does not weaken your power. What was buried is beginning to breathe again, and your nervous system is slowly learning that peace no longer carries danger. You have spent so long preparing for impact, protecting yourself from loss, and surviving emotional extremes that rest can almost feel suspicious. Yet you are no longer unsupported, and the heaviness you feel is not stagnation, but transformation settling into the body. If you have been craving solitude lately, wanting to clear your space, or feeling emotionally tired in ways sleep cannot fully repair, you are not falling behind. You are recalibrating. Your spirit is learning how to attract instead of chase, how to receive instead of constantly proving its value through endurance. What comes next asks you to step into ownership of your life, rather than remaining trapped in survival mode. So if you are here right now, do not dismiss the sense of relief that brought you to this message. You were guided here because the work has already been done in ways you cannot fully see yet. Stay with me through the rest of this message, because this is not only about money. It is about reclaiming security, restoring your sense of worth, and returning to a life where peace finally feels safe enough to stay inside your body. Scorpio, the ground beneath your life is becoming steady again. Debts are being lifted, hidden weight is clearing, and the comfort that once felt distant is beginning to return in visible, undeniable ways. As the energy around June 1st and 2nd unfolds, something inside you recognizes this shift before the outer world fully catches up. If you can feel even the faintest pull of that truth in your chest, comment below and say, "I release survival mode. I welcome what is meant for me." Let those words become your first step into receiving instead of bracing for loss. Something powerful has already started moving behind the scenes, and this message did not reach you by coincidence. What is unfolding now is far greater than temporary financial relief, because this is about reclaiming value after years of emotional depletion. The universe is not simply handing you resources. It is restoring the parts of you that learned to survive without feeling supported. Every season of your life has prepared you for this moment of return. The patience that felt exhausting, the silence you endured, and the moments you stood alone because your spirit refused to betray itself were never weaknesses. They became the hidden structure holding your future together, while other people chased quick victories that could not last. Scorpio, your strength was formed in deeper places than most people could ever recognize. In the language of the stars, your energy has always carried transformation, emotional depth, and the power to rebuild after collapse. What is happening now does not simply change your circumstances, it changes the way you see yourself. This season is proof that every unseen battle, every quiet rebuilding, and every moment you resisted becoming bitter has finally been acknowledged and returned with substance. This is not just about money arriving, it is about your life reflecting the value your soul always carried beneath the surface. While others questioned your pace, your guarded nature, or the way you moved carefully through the world, something greater was protecting the integrity of what you were becoming. You were never meant to build on unstable ground, and that is why your progress often moved in silence before becoming visible. Scorpio, this is not random luck, and it is not a fleeting opportunity. It is the accumulation of everything you continued investing into yourself while life tested your spirit. What looked like slow movement was actually hidden transformation taking root beneath the surface, while others rushed toward outcomes they could not sustain. You were building something meant to survive. The balance is shifting now, not through chaos, but through restoration. You are not being rewarded only because you worked hard. You are being restored because you kept your heart intact in environments shaped by fear, scarcity, and emotional exhaustion. Even during your own droughts, you still protected others, created stability, and carried people through storms while quietly managing your own. Those choices were never small. They became spiritual currency, and now that unseen investment is beginning to return with weight and permanence. The universe is moving carefully because what is coming into your life is meant to settle deeply, not disappear overnight. This next chapter needs peace around it, so it can root itself fully without being disturbed by fear or the instinct to hold everything too tightly. That is why rest matters now. Relaxation is no longer avoidance for you, it is trust. It is the understanding that what belongs to you does not require constant emotional guarding to remain yours. Even when reality failed to reflect your effort in the past, your belief that life could still become stable kept you connected to this moment. And now what once existed only as survival hope is slowly becoming something real enough to hold in your hands. Scorpio, you are no longer being asked to prepare for another battle. You are being asked to make space for what is finally arriving. This time, the proof does not come through another painful lesson or impossible test. It arrives as something you can hold, something stable enough to settle into your life without needing to be fought for every step of the way. Your consistency was recognized long before the outer world reflected it back to you. Every time you remained loyal to your values, every time you rebuilt yourself quietly after disappointment, something deeper was keeping record. You are not receiving this blessing because you moved faster than everyone else. You are receiving it because you stayed true to yourself, even when survival would have been easier than faith. So breathe. Relax your body. Let your hands open instead of staying clenched around fear and control. The energy surrounding early June feels like the quiet confirmation that something long delayed has finally been secured, and what belongs to you no longer needs constant guarding to remain yours. Scorpio, the next step may feel unfamiliar because it asks you to pause instead of brace yourself for impact. Real rest has never come naturally to you. After carrying emotional armor for so long, stillness can almost feel unsafe, as though peace itself might disappear if you stop watching for danger. But this moment is not asking you to stop building your life. It is teaching you how to live inside the life you already fought to protect. You are not being told to become less ambitious. You are being invited to stop measuring your worth through exhaustion. When the universe whispers for you to soften, it is not removing your security. It is confirming that the foundation beneath you can finally hold your weight without forcing you to carry everything alone. Ease is not weakness in this season. It is self-trust. It is the realization that your value no longer needs to be proven through suffering, emotional sacrifice, or constant vigilance. Rest does not delay abundance for you now. It becomes the emotional atmosphere that allows abundance to stay. The invitation to embrace peace reaches every layer of your life. Mentally, your mind has spent years scanning for betrayal, calculating risks, and preparing for emotional collapse before it happens. But now your thoughts are being asked to soften, to become less like a guarded fortress and more like a quiet inner sanctuary. Constant worry sends a message that you still expect loss, even after everything you have survived to build. So instead of preparing for disaster, remind yourself gently and repeatedly, I am secure, I am supported, I am allowed to receive. Not as empty affirmation, but as truth your nervous system is slowly learning to trust again. Around June 1st and 2nd, you may notice how unfamiliar peace feels at first. Let that discomfort pass through without turning it into another crisis to solve. Emotionally, this season asks you to stop confusing chaos with meaning. You survived for so long in survival mode that calmness may initially feel strange inside your body. But you are safe now, and that lingering anxiety is only the echo of an older version of yourself who believed struggle was necessary for protection. You no longer need pain to prove your depth. This is also where your connection to pleasure becomes important. Scorpio feels life intensely through emotion, atmosphere, touch, sound, and energetic presence. What comforts your spirit now is not superficial, because beauty and peace are helping your body remember what safety feels like again. Wear what softens you. Move slowly through nourishing moments. Surround yourself with environments that quiet the emotional noise you carried for years. The more fully you allow yourself to experience the present without fear of losing it, the more naturally life begins opening toward you. Just as hidden waters continue moving beneath the earth even during stillness, something deep within you is recalibrating. What appears quiet on the surface is actually preparing you for ownership, stability, and a different relationship with abundance altogether. And during this transformation, the greatest thing you can offer the universe is your willingness to receive joy without apology. A calm enjoyment of life becomes its own form of trust, whispering softly into the unseen, I am ready for this peace. I am worthy of this stability. I no longer need to survive in order to deserve abundance. Scorpio, after the first wave of restoration settles into your life, something even deeper begins changing beneath the surface. This is more than financial recovery or emotional relief. The way you relate to value, security, and survival is quietly being rewritten from the inside out. The old wiring that taught you to grip tightly out of fear, to expect loss before peace could arrive, is beginning to loosen, and a new emotional architecture is slowly taking its place. You are not only preparing to receive more, you are becoming someone who finally understands that your energy, your intuition, and your presence have always been part of the wealth itself. This transformation is not instant because the body does not immediately forget years of emotional survival. It unfolds through layers, through nervous system shifts, through the gradual realization that safety no longer needs to be earned through exhaustion. What you are experiencing lately may feel strange at times. Tightness in your shoulders, emotional heaviness in the chest, the urge to clear out your environment, or sudden changes in appetite are not signs that something is wrong with you. Around the opening days of June, your body may begin responding to this inner shift in physical ways, because your system is learning how to release patterns it once depended on for protection. For years, you trained yourself to stay useful, guarded, emotionally prepared, and strong enough to carry what other people could not. Your body adapted to pressure so completely that ease can still feel unfamiliar moving through you. Part of you may even feel guilty when you rest or soften, because the older version of yourself associated stillness with vulnerability. But you are not becoming lazy, Scorpio. You are recalibrating. From an energetic perspective, this is a refinement of your emotional field. That is why reconnecting with grounding experiences matters so much right now. Time near water, quiet walks, sitting beneath trees, or simply allowing yourself moments without emotional noise can help your spirit settle back into balance. Your energy is learning how to receive nourishment again, instead of remaining locked in survival mode. What you feed yourself emotionally and physically also begins carrying more importance during this phase. Foods that feel grounding, rich in life, and connected to the earth help stabilize your system while your inner world shifts. Sweetness matters too, not only in what you eat, but in how you speak to yourself, how you move through your home, and how willing you are to experience beauty without immediately preparing for its disappearance. It may also become harder for you to tolerate environments, conversations, or people that drain your spirit. The emotional compromises you once accepted just to maintain stability are beginning to feel heavier than before. This is not because you are becoming difficult, it is because your standards are rising to match the version of yourself that no longer wishes to survive on emotional scraps. Pleasure becomes important now, because you are not only attracting abundance, you are learning how to embody it. Scorpio, your transformation is happening slowly and deeply, like hidden waters reshaping stone beneath the earth long before anyone sees the surface change. Every moment you honor your body, protect your peace, and allow yourself softness without guilt creates more room for lasting stability to enter your life. You are no longer only enduring difficult seasons, you are beginning to flourish within your own energy again, and that changes the way life responds to you. This next version of you no longer chases value through sacrifice alone. It carries a quieter kind of power that naturally commands respect, support, and reciprocity. And what is unfolding now is not random luck. It is a karmic correction. The energy you poured into people, places, and situations that failed to value you is being recalculated with fairness instead of loss. The loyalty you gave, the emotional labor you carried, and the stability you offered while receiving chaos in return were never erased. Every sacrifice, every moment you stayed longer than you should have, every time you repaired emotional damage you did not create, left an imprint. Scorpio understands exchange deeply, and when too much has been taken without balance, life eventually begins correcting the scales. That is why this phase feels different. You are no longer chasing what should have been yours all along. Something greater is already moving to restore it. The energetic balance is correcting itself now, Scorpio. You no longer need to chase explanations, demand repayment, or carry the emotional weight of everything that was never properly returned to you. That chapter is ending. What belongs to you is already finding its way back in the form of stability, opportunity, protection, and a level of peace your nervous system has not fully trusted in years. Sometimes the loyalty you poured into someone else's vision returns as freedom to build something of your own. Sometimes the emotional security you gave to others becomes the safe space you finally create for yourself. And sometimes the patience you carried through silent battles turns into a sudden shift where your value can no longer be ignored. Scorpio understands timing differently than most people. The deeper forces in life move quietly, and what grows beneath the surface often takes longer to become visible. Just because the reward did not appear immediately does not mean your effort disappeared. Something hidden was strengthening the roots the entire time. And the most powerful part of this transformation is that you arrived here without losing your humanity. You could have become cold after everything you experienced. You could have hardened yourself completely. Instead, some part of you stayed emotionally open, even while protecting your spirit. And that refusal to become bitter is part of what preserved this next chapter for you. You are going to handle what comes with wisdom and emotional maturity. You are no longer apologizing for your standards, your boundaries, or the kind of life you know you deserve. What is returning now carries substance, because it is meant to support not only your future, but also the people and spaces your heart truly cares about. Scorpio, this is the kind of justice your spirit has quietly been waiting to feel. As your inner world changes, the outer world begins responding in visible ways. Around the first days of June, the signs may feel impossible to ignore because Scorpio does not experience transformation only emotionally. You experience it through energy, instinct, atmosphere, and physical reality. Repeating numbers like 222, 444, or especially 888 may begin appearing more often, carrying reminders of alignment, restoration, and financial expansion. You may notice meaningful coincidences, unexpected opportunities, money arriving from surprising places, or strong intuitive pulls guiding you toward investments and long-term decisions. When these moments happen, do not dismiss them as random. They are signs that your internal transformation is finally becoming tangible enough to touch. Still, this abundance is not arriving simply to be consumed. It is arriving to establish something lasting. The security your inner self has searched for through years of emotional survival is beginning to take physical shape now. Not because you forced life to surrender, but because your energy finally became ready to hold what once felt unreachable. In astrology, Scorpio governs transformation, shared resources, power, and emotional depth. So when wealth enters your life, it often arrives with purpose attached to it. This is not shallow success. It is the kind of abundance that rebuilds foundations, restores dignity, and creates safety strong enough to survive future storms. You may still feel cautious at times. Part of you may question whether this stability can truly last. But look at everything you have already survived. Every loss taught you how to rebuild yourself with greater wisdom, and every emotional collapse strengthened your ability to create something more durable than before. When this next phase settles fully into your life, you will recognize it through the feeling of finally exhaling. You will not feel the need to prove anything loudly. You will want peace, protection, beauty, and a life that feels emotionally safe to exist inside. That is how you will know this blessing carries permanence rather than illusion. So when the signs appear, do not overanalyze them or turn them into another reason to doubt yourself. Simply allow yourself to receive. Respect what comes into your life. Enjoy it without guilt. Choose what lasts. And when you feel called to share your abundance, understand that you are no longer giving from depletion. Scorpio, you were never meant to spend your life surviving on emotional scraps. You were always meant to create the kind of life where peace, depth, and abundance could finally sit at the same table together. Scorpio, the moment you chose your peace over other people's approval, something deep inside your life quietly began to change. The instant you stopped negotiating your worth just to keep everyone around you comfortable, hidden doors started unlocking behind the scenes. Around June 1st and 2nd, you may feel that shift more intensely than before. Almost like something buried for years is finally beginning to rise toward the surface. This season is no longer asking you to exhaust yourself, proving your value. It is asking you to receive what your spirit has already spent years earning. A powerful financial and emotional breakthrough is taking shape around you now. not because you forced life to surrender, but because you kept rebuilding yourself through every hidden storm that tried to wear you down. Every quiet sacrifice, every late night spent carrying emotional weight nobody else could see, became part of the foundation supporting this new chapter. What if this next phase of your life is not demanding more struggle from you, but more trust? What if the miracle unfolding now is asking you to finally believe that stability can exist without pain attached to it? So loosen your grip for a moment, let your shoulders soften, and allow your body to stop preparing for battles that no longer belong to you. You do not need to apologize for wanting comfort, peace, security, or a life that feels emotionally safe to exist inside. What is coming toward you now carries permanence because it was built through resilience, patience, and emotional wisdom formed in silence. Scorpio, this is not random luck arriving out of nowhere. This is the visible return of everything your spirit continued building beneath the surface, while the world only saw fragments of your journey. The strength you developed through disappointment, heartbreak, rebuilding, and emotional endurance became the architecture carrying you toward this moment now. Even when nothing appeared to move, something powerful was still growing quietly underneath it all. This is why you had to become so strong. Not so you could survive forever, but so you could finally hold abundance without fear of losing yourself in the process. So take a slow breath and let yourself fully arrive inside this moment. If this message resonates deeply within your soul, comment below and say, "June opens the door. I reclaim my power and receive in peace." And if this message speaks to your spirit, like this video and subscribe so you continue receiving guidance meant to support your peace, prosperity, and emotional growth. Then place your hand gently over your heart and whisper softly, "Lord, I am ready to receive what is meant for me. Teach me to hold this abundance with wisdom, peace, and gratitude."